everyone. This week I've been working on some fabric embellishments, and I thought I would just show you what I'm doing. I'm using quilted muslin, and these are just scraps. A lot of times I put this fabric on the back of my pillows and use different projects, and I save all the little pieces and it makes wonderful little embellishments. So I'm just doing these flower shapes. I do have my free motion foot on, and I have my feed dogs dropped. I'm using a black all-purpose thread, and I'm just doing these random organic flower shapes. Some of these flowers have 5 petals, and some I do with 6 petals. I go over the design more than once just to give it a sketched on look. They measure approximately 2 inches across. Some are a little bit smaller than that, and some are a little bit bigger. And this one I'm doing more of a cone fat flower shape. I like to have these embellishments on hand for different projects. Sometimes I put them on purses or just a lot of different things. You can also put a pin back on them for lapels, or cute on little headbands, that type of thing. Now I'm going to add some color to it. I showed these in a previous video, but these are oil pastel, and I have a bucket of water there. I'm going to be using like an size 8 round brush. I also have a paper towel that I'll be wiping off on, but these oil pastels are just really fun to work with. They're student grades. They're inexpensive. I'll link all my products down below for you. And they are water soluble. And I also tested them in another previous video, and they are color fast. So I was able to wash them without them, disappearing or lightening a lot. But I just put my brush in some water, and I'm just activating this. It's just a really fun way to add color. I like the fact that it's not opaque, so you can still see the thread through it. And you can also just pick color off with your brush. I just wanted to make sure, because sometimes when when this crayon the point is gone, you can certainly sharpen them, but you can also, for little detail, you can pick up the color with the brush, and I show that again here in a little bit. Here I'm showing it with this orange color. I'm just picking that up with my brush that is wet, and then you can just color that way. It's going to be lighter, but you can add another layers on top of it to get that color more vibrant. And then on to this next one. I'm just doing this one in some purples and a violet blue. And then again adding the water to activate it. They blend really well. They're just just fun to work with. It's a great way to add some color to these little embellishments. There's 24 colors in these, and they're really relatively inexpensive. So like I said, I will link those down below for you. I do heat set all these type of things. The heat's going to just push that color into the fibers, and it does, make it more color fast. And then I just go around each one of these and cut, just leaving a little bit of an edge on there. Now back to my sewing machine, I am going to add a button to each one of these. I have my button foot on, and just get my needle in the right position with this zigzag. My feed dogs again are dropped for this, and I'm just going to sew these buttons on really quick. And that's the only embellishments I've been doing on the flowers. The next little embellishment that I'm going to be working on and showing you are some butterflies. One last little button there. I did add like a dark brown button to this coneflower. And here's what the butterflies look like. Now, some of them I did use my Tim Holtz tattered butterfly die. Again, I'll link that down below. And I used the smaller one. You can't see it there, but I used the smaller shape of the butterfly. But then you can also just draw a butterfly shape out, and I'll show you both ways. I do use the Heat and Bond Light. This is like a paperback adhesive that I use for both of these butterflies. I'm just going to draw that shape out. I'm drawing this on the paper side of this paper adhesive, and then I rough cut that. And then I'll press that or iron that on the back side of my fabric. I'll cut that out right on the line. And then add it to a piece of felt. I picked this felt up at Hobby Lobby, and they have some interesting colors there. I'll also link some felts down below for you too from Amazon. But if you have a Hobby Lobby close, you can check that out as well. I think they're just really some pretty colors and a little bit unusual colors. The next one I'm going to run through my Big Shot, and so first of all, you want to iron that Heat and Bond Light on the back of a shape of a fabric that's large enough to cover that butterfly. Making my sandwich there, so I've got my layer of my my fabric inside this. I also put that piece of paper on just to make it cut a little bit. There's some pretty delicate little pieces on this butterfly, and I want to make sure that has a crisp cut, so I did put that piece of paper as a shim. And then I'm just choosing which piece I like, and I think I decided on this peach again. I thought that worked really well. Just going to put it on the blue, but I like the peach better, so I'm going to peel that paper off, and then we'll just press that into right onto that felt. For my butterflies, I like to embellish them. Instead of putting a button on, I'm adding a little piece of a lace motif to each of these. This was really a neat lace that I picked up. I think I got this at an antique store. I don't know the age of it, but it almost has a petal look, but I thought it looked neat for the inside or the body part of the butterfly. And then I'm also going to add a word to my butterfly. Now you can stamp, these are stamped words. Then I always try to pick up fabric with words whenever I can find it. And there was actually a thing that said fly butterfly. And that's what I cut out of this piece to add to the butterfly. I think it was separate words, the word fly and then the word butterfly. I do have Heat and Bond Light on the back side of this piece of fabric. I just kind of do that so it's all ready for me. Just trying to see which one I want. This one piece of stamped, it says happy place, and I just cut the happy off of there. I'm just going to put the word happy on this butterfly and then that piece of lace. Another thing you can do if you don't have words, you can also just print off words off your computer onto fabric. Just getting those ironed on into place. Then I'm going to head over to my sewing machine, and again I have cream colored thread on this time, and I'm going to make that body of the butterfly a little bit more pronounced. So I'm going to go back and forth and fill in that body part. And then I'm just going to go around and just get the edges and then also attach those words. And then get that little piece of lace or that motif there stitched down. I just love that little piece of lace. Looks like this the body of the butterfly. You just never know what's going to work. And then I'm going to again cut these out once they're stitched with a little bit of that felt showing all the way around. You can give these butterflies a little dimension or some shape just by doing a stitch in and just pressing that. This is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this, everybody. I've got some pictures here at the end. It's just a great way just to use up little scraps and just to play around. They're fun to have on hand. Bye, everybody. Have a great week.